Erling Haaland. He's not who you think he is. Wait a minute. If you think he's an absolute force of nature that will someday dominate world football just like Messi and Ronaldo while managing to look graceful and beautiful with his stunning hair, then he's definitely who you think he is. And funny enough, Erling Haaland is just getting started. You see, Erling Haaland is a different type of striker. Ever since El Fenomeno himself, Ronaldo Nazario, nobody's seen a striker as fearsome as Erling Haaland. Big, strong, athletic, powerful, fast, and not to mention, he looks like he could cut it as a club bouncer if he wasn't an elite footballer. You see, Erling Haaland is a different type of beast. If we're talking about making an impact as a rookie, no one comes close to this guy for real. In fact, I've never seen a rookie season this impressive since Wilt Chamberlain in 1960. Erling walked away with a Champions League title, an FA Cup winners medal, a Premier League title, top scorer in the Premier League, top scorer in the Champions League, FWA Footballer of the Year, Man City's Player of the Season, Premier League Player of the Season, and the Premier League Young Player of the Season. Damn, Erling, what the man? You some kind of robotic machine or something, bro? Actually, and weirdly enough, this is a question I remember asking Erling at a nightclub. You know, before he got drunk out of his mind and got himself kicked out. I asked him, "What is your secret, Erling?" And now, before I reveal his source of success, go on and hit that subscribe button, man. Come on, click it right there. Hurry up. Anyways, Erling told me his secret is actually down to this one thing most guys are in love with. And no, it's not Beyonce. It's pretty straightforward. Food. That's right, an average man eats about 2,000 to 2,500 calories, but not Erling. Cause this dude takes in about 6,000 calories a day. This includes his father's lasagna as a pre-match meal, not to mention chicken and spaghetti too. Erling also consumes a lot of seafood. Sea bass, a nice fat swordfish that is carefully steamed to his liking, as well as sea bream and vegetables. Lots and lots of vegetables. But perhaps one heart-stopping fact about Erling's diet is that he eats hearts. Wait. Not on some Jeffrey Dahmer shit, but he actually does eat hearts. People say meat is bad for you, but which? The meat you get at McDonald's or the local cow eating grass right over there? I eat the heart and the liver. Yeah, that explains where my pet cow went now. How could you, Erling? How could you? Man, Erling Haaland is so strict when it comes to his diet, cause for me personally, I could never eat a cow's heart or drink kale-infused spinach cause that's just crazy. Unlike Erling Haaland, who even calls it his magic potion. Apparently, this jug of milk is what helped Erling score back-to-back hat-tricks against Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. I mean, since Erling Haaland has such a strict diet, then he definitely has a strict workout regime. Otherwise, he cannot possibly be this strong from food alone, right? So just how intense is Erling Haaland's workout plan? Erling here does some mad compound movement exercises like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses for his explosive power and Viking-like strength. Assuming we all imagine how strong Vikings are, that is. And then for his speed and agility, probably the most crucial aspects of Haaland's game, he does a variety of workouts like sprinting, cone drills, resistance sprints, and even treadmill sprints, ensuring he makes quick explosive runs into space, sharp changes of directions to draw out his opponents, and create spaces for hunks like Jack Grealish to score. Wow, Erling Haaland has some insane discipline. No wonder bro is up there as one of the most exciting strikers in the Premier League. You know, Erling wasn't always this glorified. Just like all of us, and a word from Drake, he started from the bottom. And as we've seen so far, it took blood, sweat, tears, cow hearts, and expired milk to get him where he is. Not only that, Erling used to grind it out in his younger days, trying to make a name for himself. You see, this tale began in a very small but very beautiful town of Brune in Norway. A young Erling Haaland enrolled in Brune FK's academy. While you were still sucking on your mom's titties at 5 years old, Erling was already having training sessions at Brune FK. Every day after school, there was one thing on Erling's mind: football. So for the next 10 years, he spent his youth at the club and was even promoted to Brune FK's first team in the second division. At that time, it was way before he had a ridiculous diet and workout routine. Therefore, Haaland was just a measly skinny kid, probably as skinny as Christian Bale on The Machinist. But hey, Erling didn't let any of that stop him, cause just a few years later, man was starting to show his potential in international matches for Norway. Funny enough, with Haaland born in Leeds, you'd think he'd want to form a deadly partnership with Harry Kane, instead of playing with guys like Alexander Zurlos. But I mean, who the wants to be in the same team as… Okay, all jokes aside, I bet you didn't know that Erling Haaland could have actually played for England. You see, when he had this interview with Goal, I lived here for 3.5, 4 years, but I lived in Norway for such a long time, so it was natural for me to choose Norway. I mean, who can blame him though? Otherwise, he wouldn't have this one insane stat, scoring 9 goals in a single match. No, seriously. You see, during the U20 World Cup held in Poland, Norway was struggling in their group stage fixtures, and they needed a win of 5+ goals if they had any sort of chance of making it in the knockout stages. And that chance came in the shape of a 6'2", 18-year-old superstar called Erling Braut Haaland. And that's when Brouty Boy here decided to convert a total of 10 chances created into a 9-goal sensational performance. Wow, would you look at that, man. Haaland really has come far, hasn't he? From winning golden boots in youth tournaments to winning golden boots in the Champions League itself. That's something alright. But don't think this happens overnight, cause it doesn't. Haaland's had to work countlessly to reap such rewards. I mean, you don't just wind up where he is by becoming normal. Hell no. Nothing's normal about this guy. He's unstoppable. In each season, there's always a goals galore. No matter what defenders do, bro's gravitational pull to scoring goals is somewhat more inevitable than this hombre turning up at every single World Cup. Take RB Salzburg for example. This guy literally scored 29 goals in just 27 games. Then again at Borussia Dortmund, bro scored 86 goals in 89 games. When haters said he wouldn't do it big in the Premier League, Haaland came out with 53 goals in 52 appearances. Bro's been on fire for real. No wonder Kim K wants some of that heat. Hell, even featured too. You know, come to think of it, with all this clout, something tells me that I'm gonna see Haaland more often than I would like. I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy's absolutely gorgeous. Oh my god, have you seen him? So macho, so elegant, so just to die for, period. But what I'm actually talking about is FC24. You see, and call me weird if you want to, but I'm one of the few people that likes purchasing discs whenever I used to play FIFA. So with FC24 releasing on the 29th of September, Dad promised me a brand new disc, but under 2 conditions. Number 1, he wants me to move out of the house. As it turns out, apparently being a 39-year-old man, spending your days playing FIFA and still living with your parents is unacceptable. And number 2, I have to reach 2,000 subscribers before the game releases in September. So come on y'all, help me out of here, man. It's bad enough that my father wants to kick me out of my beautiful room filled with posters of Margot Robbie and Scarlett Johansson, and there's no way I'm letting that happen. But anyways, congrats to Erling Haaland for joining the likes of Kylian Mbappe and becoming the cover star of FC24. Haaland is paving the way for millions of kids from his native Norway, and who knows, with October approaching pretty soon, we might just see him become the first player of his generation to win the Ballon d'Or. Wow, playing under Pep Guardiola and for Manchester City has really taken Haaland's game to the next level. But wait, I'm pretty sure you didn't know this, but the Premier League Giants weren't the only English team that had the chance to sign Erling Haaland. You see, this guy right here, back when he used to coach Erling at Molde, he was pretty impressed with what he saw. Like, really impressed. So much so, he just had to hit up Manchester United and encourage them to sign Erling Haaland for just 5 million euros. For a man valued at around 180 million pounds, you'd think Manchester United would take the deal and sign Big Earl. I called United about 6 months before I took over and told them that I got the striker that we had, but they didn't listen. I asked for 4 million pounds for Haaland, but they didn't sign him. To be completely honest, man, after hearing this foolery from Ed Woodward and the Glazers, I don't know which club will feel dumber for not signing Erling Haaland at such a huge bargain. Manchester United or Everton? You see, back in 2018, you know, much simpler and happier times. Ronaldo was still at Real Madrid, Kun Aguero was still in his prime for Manchester City, De Bruyne wanted to talk, Modric was tearing it up at the World Cup, oh, and me, then we have Everton. Another team on the list stupid enough to miss out on Erling Haaland for just 7 million euros. Haaland's quality is so clear that even a freaking government official urged Everton to sign him. Former Liverpool mayor Joe Anderson tweeted that he attended one of Molde's games, and that a certain Norwegian kid was just scoring goals for fun. Sign him, I shouted back. They want 7 million pounds. Apparently, that was deemed too much by Everton. And looking back, it's probably one of the dumbest decisions mankind has ever seen. Period. You know what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Not saying Erling Haaland's trash or anything, but after the success he's had, he's on top of the world. And dare I say, it's looking long from now until 2027. After all, Erling Haaland is just at the beginning of the peak of his powers. Yeah, I know you enjoyed that video. Drop a comment down below and describe Erling Haaland in just one word. You can't use the word Terminator though, cause that's my word. So go ahead. Let's try and get 10 comments describing our Erling. Meanwhile, you can watch this video right here. The 10 things Vinicius Jr. can't live us out. Number 9 is crazy. Vinny is crazy for what he has at number 9. So, come on mi amigo, click it.